Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out the latest edition of our TV5 podcast. We have an exciting one today. We are coming to you right from our downtown Flint studio, which is super exciting. And we moved our digital studio with us just for this man. This is Greg Campioni. He's the Detroit Lions' biggest fan. It's crazy.
Right here, Flint native, Gary Campioni, Detroit Lions, biggest fan. We got the belt to prove it.
We got lots of things to prove it. All right, so Gary, tell us a little bit. You come from the UP. Just give us a little bit of background.
Oh, yeah, I say I'm from parts unknown because no one's ever heard of my town. Little map dot, like, get Michigan out, right, everybody? We know it right there.
No way.
Dollar Bay, small little town, but, grew up, with a love of Michigan, love of my state, love of my town. Grew up a Lions fan. Graduated from high school, went off to college, went to NMU. Met some other Lions fans, like, oh my God, there's other Lions fans out there.
Yeah.
The UP, sometimes they call it Packer country, because it's right next to Green Bay, and I get it. Not everybody's loyal to their hometown and their state, but
right.
Hey, let them have theirs, we'll have ours.
Exactly.
But, and it hasn't always been easy being a Lions fan, so.
I think we all can relate.
Definitely.
All right, so Greg, you were dubbed by Comerica Park sponsored contest.
Yes.
Biggest Detroit Lions fan. What's that make you feel like?
It was humbling first to be nominated, be a semifinalist. There were 4 of us that were nominated. As semifinalists, I knew 2 of them. So now you're trying to get online votes against your friends. And then I won. And it's completely humbling. And I made phone calls to a few guys going, hey, look, I think you're a bigger fan than me.
Yeah.
But, but hey, or you're in my top list. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm a knucklehead. I'm a knucklehead that got nominated. But what I will try to do, though, is live up to the title now. And like the words on the belt say, defend the dead. So yeah. I'll do my best.
That's very true, very true. Okay, so give us some of your history as a Detroit Lions fan. When did it start? Why?
Geez. Well, I think it just goes back to being a kid, being a little kid.
Yeah.
In college, made instant friends with a guy that's still one of my best friends, Matt. He's got 2 brothers. So then all of a sudden I was like their fourth. I was like the 4th brother.
Okay.
As we grew up, we got older. You hit a few Lions games, or we'd then move away. So what we tried to do once a year was get back together for a guys trip. Let's do a Lions game. Let's do a Lions away game.
Yeah.
And start hitting away towns, away places. One year we're in Carolina, and we met these fans on a Saturday. We're just kind of strolling through town. And they just befriended us, hung out with them, and they invited us to their tailgate the next day, and they're all dressed up.
Yeah.
And they're look like Avengers, the Predator, and we kind of thought, what if we could do that? Could we do that? And you say it, but you never think it's going to happen. We used to just buy a new hat every year.
Right.
Well, Matt buys an Elvis costume. He becomes Detroit Elvis and says, guys, figure it out. And so then you're like, look in your closet, and you're like, okay, I don't have anything in my closet. So, yeah. You get some spray paint out, and you realize that's not going to do the trick. And
yeah.
A couple jackets later, your daughter's sewing machine, all of a sudden.
You got it all. I wish you guys could see below this desk because he's got pants on and everything.
Woo!
There we go.
Spandex.
So you have obviously lots of memorabilia and items. So what's your most prized possession, you think?
You know what? My most prized possession, I gave to my son. I'm going to tear up even just talking about it because I love it. And he doesn't even know that I have this much sentimental value for it. I have a game ball. Because you can go buy a hat, and you can buy that flag, and anybody has access to that.
Right.
But somehow a game ball ended up in my hands. I don't know who gave it to me. I can't admit that. I can't say it. But somehow I have one. And it was a game that my son and I were at from that game. And, Calvin Johnson might have won a touchdown with that ball possibly.
Okay.
And gave it to my son, but put it in a case, displayed it, gave it to him as a Christmas gift. So my most prized possession I gave away.
Okay. That's really nice.
I hope he takes care of that ball.
I know, right?
Dang it. Hope he likes it. Hope he respects it.
Oh man, I had some stuff that my dad's given me that he's just shake my head.
But I kind of picture one day he'll have his own man cave and he'll build it around that. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
It's a start to something new.
I hope so.
That's awesome. So you went against some stiff competition. We know we got some crazy Detroit Lions fans.
Yes.
And you even said some of your friends. So
yes.
What was that like?
You know what? Day one, we're calling each other, Facebook messaging each other going, hey, this is nuts. okay, this contest starts tomorrow, or, hey, we're in this contest, what are we going to do? And, hey, just best of luck to everybody.
Yeah.
And then you just do your thing, and you're respectful, you got integrity, you reach out to, they're reaching out, we're reaching out, and we all have our own separate friends, and but then you take it off social media too.
Yeah.
You go to your town, you go to where you grew up, and everyone has been so just supportive. Sending out press releases like you, reached out to the UP where I grew up, and I call myself, people ask where my hometown is, it's Flint. This is my wife's from here, my kids grew up here, they were born here, this is my town.
Okay.
But I was raised up there, so it was fun, it's always fun to go home, and once a year or so, but the UP was definitely kind. I even was told a few Packer fans were throwing some votes my way in this contest, so appreciate you guys.
They sacrificed.
They did. And so right now, until the 20th, I'm up against the biggest Red Wings fan and the biggest Tigers fan.
Okay.
But in the ultimate title, Detroit's biggest fan. And that contest now is for a pair of season tickets.
Very good.
Yeah.
For your respective sport,
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And we'll definitely get to the competition in a minute. I
Yes.
just want to hear all your crazy stories, because I'm
geez.
sure you have a lot.
God, we do get a little crazy sometimes. and sometimes you realize, okay, and you definitely, when you dress up, you've got a spotlight on you,
Yeah.
obviously. And you really do try to be respectful of where you're going as well, representing the team you're there for. We get asked to take a lot of pictures and photos, and sometimes you're like, hey man, we're in the bathroom, can you wait till we get out in the hallway? And you wouldn't believe how many times that happens. But but once you walk into Ford Field, you're right there in like the big, you want to call it the atrium, the lobby area, and you just stop and you just pose and keep turning, taking pictures. So, I took my son a couple years ago, and I dressed up, and he said he probably counted it. He took 80, 90 pictures that day.
Wow.
So we went back a few weeks later. I said, who do you want to go with, me or the other guy? And he's like, I'll go with my dad.
That's right.
So that game, I didn't dress up. It was kind of like incognito. But you...
Oh, that's okay.
Let me just turn that off.
That's all right. That happens.
Yeah. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Yeah. And so, so that game, we just went incognito. But even that day, we were I got a sideline passes. We're on the field before the game, or all the players, you can get you're like 6 feet from players, and they're running around. And Danny Amendola at the time, one of our wide receivers, comes out, says hi to people right next to us. I'm like, Danny Amendola. And he goes, hey man, can you take our picture? And I'm like, okay. And then I grab his phone and I take a picture of him with his friends, and like, oh hey, thanks. And he runs. I'm like, can I get a? And he's already gone. And then my son spots number 84. Why am I blanking on this? Herman Moore, I know him. Blanking out here. I apologize.
That's
84.
all right. That's all right.
And anyway, he spots him. We're like, hey, can we get a pic? And his handler looks at us and goes, hey man, I'm sorry, we're out of time. And he's like, I got time for a few more pictures.
That's awesome.
And since then I've had a chance to actually get to know him. And that's why I felt bad blanking on the name real quick.
That's okay.
Just a little tongue-tied here, I guess.
Right. Brain farts, it happens.
Herman Moore just started a new app, if I can plug it, Lions Nation Unite.
Okay.
You can look it up on your phones, download it. It's just a forum for Lions fans to get together, post pictures, articles, interviews, chat with each other. And then I got a call towards the end of August, email, I think it was a text at first going, hey, I represent Herman Moore. Would you be interested in being a part of this video that we're doing? We can't give you all the details yet, but would you? I'm like, absolutely. Whatever you're doing, I'll be a part of it. Right. So it turned out it was like a promo video to be a part to kick off his app. And that was like the coolest thing to be invited to that. Other cool stories. I was on the beach this last spring break. We're down in Florida, and I get an email from the marketing director of the Detroit Lions. I'm like, well, they've got my email. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. And would you like to go to the NFL draft and be our guest? Yes. Yes, I would love that. And I was there, and they picked 12 people. I got, one dropped out. I got one of my buddies into, and we got to go and hang out in Cleveland as a group, hanging out with other super fans from all over the country, other sports teams. We're all in the same hotel. Yeah. Got to, hang out at the draft for 3 days, and you form instant connections then and bonds with these other Lions fans for life. And one of them was my good friend Mark, who was also in this competition. Yeah. But just got to spend 3 days with him and get to know him better, and it was great. It was great.
I mean, just by dressing up, it seems to have opened up so many of these doors.
You know what? It has. It really has. And and I still look at it like, we're grown men, we dress up like knuckleheads, but it has opened a lot of doors. It's been a lot of fun, and and it's certainly appreciative of the Detroit Lions for what they've allowed me to do, and what they've invited me to do. This could possibly open up doors for something else, maybe along the way, keep this train rolling.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm having fun, and I do love our team. I love our team, and I love the excitement, getting fans riled up at a game, bringing some of that energy. That's what we experience in other places, and it's fun to bring that and see that here. Buffalo a few years ago, we were like in the front row just getting the fans riled up, and it was just a good time. And we have so many of those little memories. Me and a group of guys.
I think that's great too, because not only are you guys making your own memories, but for the people who were there at the games that you're at, you're creating memories for them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think that's great.
Yes.
All right, so I have to ask you, Gary. There's a little bit of controversy.
Okay.
With Matthew Stafford heading to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
They won.
Yes.
Congratulations to our former Lions, but
oh my God,
Detroit Rams.
Oh,
what do you think about that?
That was terrible. I hate it. If you're a Lions fan and you bought that T-shirt, burn it.
Rescind your card, please.
Yeah, either give your Lions ticket back, or burn all your Lions gear. You're now a Detroit Rams fan. That was terrible. I'm a Matt Stafford fan.
Yeah.
He bled. He gave his all, his heart when he was in here in Detroit. He played his heart out. Mm-hmm. I'm happy for the guy. He won a Super Bowl. You can't be not happy for the guy.
Right.
But the Detroit Rams, that's not our team. It doesn't exist. It's a cartoon. Somebody made $1. Good for them.
Yeah.
But if you bought the shirt,
biggest Lions fan says nah.
Nah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Nah. Poor taste. Poor taste.
Poor taste. All right, so the competition it ends this Sunday,
the 20th. Yes.
And you already kind of mentioned it, but is there anything our listeners should know in terms of voting?
Absolutely. Detroit'sBiggestFan.com.
Okay.
Click vote, and then click Gary. That's all you need to remember.
That's easy.
You can skip past the Red Wings girl, the Tigers guy, and I think I'm right in the middle.
Okay.
Gary. Unless you're a Wings fan, I get it, but right now we're talking about me and the Detroit Lions.
So what makes you stand out from the Tigers and the Red Wings fans?
Oh, it's like what I told you before. I look better in spandex. and I'm going to tell you what, I love our city. I love the Wings. I love the Tigers, but I'm a Lions super fan. I love the Lions. That's who I chose long ago. That's the team I support. I watch every game. I'm at every home game, as many away games as I can. What's going to make me stand out the most? I think you're looking at it. I think I stand out the most. Right there, I do. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, the first, you walk by and our eyes will follow.
Absolutely. and it goes back to our team this year even. Our new coach, who everybody said you might win a game if you're lucky.
Yeah.
He brought it. We won 3. We tied 1. We came close on a few others. And I think it goes back to heart. And I think it's that underdog spirit. I think I represent that. Growing up in a small town, living in a blue-collar town.
Yeah.
I think it's that underdog spirit that I think every Detroit fan really has. We want the win, and I think it's going to be this year.
All right. He said it. You heard it here first, everybody. All right, so yeah, of course, we're going to have a link to the Detroit Biggest Sports Fan on our website in the Hot Links section. Gary, it was such a pleasure talking to you and learning more about your history as a Detroit Lions fan, and wow. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thanks for coming in. Thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody listening, one last time, Detroit'sBiggestFan.com. Vote Gary.
Gary Campioni. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, of course. So if you want more information, hot link section, WNEM.com. That does it for another episode of our TV5 podcast. We're coming to you right from our downtown Flint studio. Stay tuned for more episodes.